Hello all! Professor Polly here for yet another amazing tale. This exemplum takes us to an old country town called Critter Springs, named for its residents and the natural spring running through town. However, the town had much more than water to offer, and unfortunately, my nemesis tried to take full advantage of this. What follows is the almost verifiable story of the time I rescued a town to save the reward.
Through ancient ruins and silver streams, he follows maps and golden dreams. No trap too tricky, no foe extreme. His courage sparks like sunlit beams. Professor Polly, so daring, so grand, feathered hero of this untamed land. With his beak held high, he makes his stand. Adventure calls under his command.
This episode, Professor Polly and the Critter Springs Menace. I first heard of trouble in Critter Springs from a dear old friend who had recently travelled from there. His name is Burton, and one of the most trustworthy friends anyone could have. I had decided to go camping that weekend, so when I saw Burton show up, I knew he had a most important issue to discuss.
Professor Polly, I am so glad I found you. The town of Critter Springs has been taken over by that bad snake named Chang. He is making them take all the gold they find in their springs and give it to him. How can we help?
The story he told was very upsetting. This problem obviously needed my keen problem-solving skills, so I immediately started to devise a plan. Burton took me to the path that led him to Critter Springs. He mentioned the journey was long, so I may want to take the train that stops by there. With that said, Burton had to leave and I had to face the journey to Critter Springs alone. I wasn't sure what awaited me there, but I did have a plan to deal with Chang.
I know that bratty little canine coward went to tell that molting, meddling toucan what I was doing. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I have a plan that will catch and get rid of that ferreting fowl once and for all.
I finally made it to the train station, but I discovered I had just missed the only train to Critter Springs. Without hesitation, I took flight to see if I could catch that train. Using my superb flying skills, I had no problem finding the train. However, I noticed the locomotive was in peril. Taking a quick look, I saw many logs blocking the track ahead. With my quick speed, I flew to the engineer and told him he needed to stop immediately. Only time would tell if we had enough time before the train hit the blockage. The engineer, whom I learned, was named Hardy. Was an experienced engineer and knew exactly what to do. With Hardy calmly applying the necessary brakes, I watched as the logs came closer. Sparks flew as the wheels grinded to a halt. With plenty of luck and Hardy's skill as an engineer, the train finally stops only a few feet from sure disaster. After making certain everyone on board was safe, I thanked Hardy and I was on my way, flying the remainder of my journey. Next stop, Critter Springs.
My little stool pigeon, the Black Raven, just told me that Professor Polly thwarted my train accident. That irritating, filthy, feathered foe of mine seems to be awfully lucky. Well, haha. He will need luck if he thinks he is going to save this town. These terrified, tasty rodents that live here have nothing to fear. Ha ha! Except me.
Using my keen sense of direction and quick flying, I reached Critter Springs. It was midday, and as Burton had relayed to me, I watched this peaceful hamster community being forced to strip the town of its greatest natural resource, gold. Critter Springs has always mined gold from the natural springs running through town. Now, Chang's plan is to take all the gold for himself and make our little furry friends do all the work. I could not and would not allow this to happen any longer.
I see my tuxedo-feathered foe has arrived. Now is the time I will take care that this bothersome, blundering braggart for good. The trap has been set.
Earlier, right before I left on the pathway, I had summoned my friend Harley Hawk. Harley and I have been friends for many years. He is as trustworthy as he is brilliant. He would be an important part of me ridding Critter Springs of that devilish boa constrictor.
Now, it's time to choose one of these delicious-looking morsels. This will make that brainless buzzard come out from hiding. Then this precious professor will be my dinner, and most importantly, gone forever. Come out, wherever you are, Professor Polly. Oh, I mean Polly! Ha ha!
Just then, a huge bird comes flying out of nowhere. Harley Hawk swoops in and takes Chang away, saving the town from the bully boa.
I'll be back, Professor Polly, and next time, revenge will be mine.
Critter Springs was once again free. The hamsters celebrated and made that day a holiday. They named it after me, of course. They call it Professor Polly Day. You may be asking, why didn't they name the holiday Happy Harley Day? After all, he actually fought Chang. However, after much discussion with the town residents, I convinced them, they decided that I saved the day by getting Harley there on time. I tried, but I couldn't convince them to change their mind, especially after someone told them about how brilliantly I saved the train. However, Hardy actually stopped the train, but I was there for all of it, and I'm not going to quibble over the details. This concludes yet another practically true story of me, Professor Polly. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it up. Telling it. Please stay tuned for bloopers following the end music. Thanks for watching the adventures of Professor Polly. This episode, Professor Polly and the Critter Springs Menace.
Through ancient ruins and silver streams, he follows maps and golden dreams. No trap too tricky, no foe extreme. His courage sparks like sunlit beams. Professor Polly, so daring, so grand, feathered hero of this untamed land. With his beak held high, he makes his stand. Adventure calls under his command.
I thought I purchased first class, not upper class. Sorry, I seem to have missed the door again.
I guess it's time for the Chang slide. Bom cheeky, bom bom bom. Seems like everyone's doing the slide. Seriously, it's lunchtime now. Weren't you just on break?
Saddlebags packed with seeds so fine, hamster hats under the desert shine.